All right, everyone, welcome into H2H, our, I guess, Thanksgiving edition here for week number 13 in the NFL. You got myself, Ev, and Tasos is with me. This show is a show in which Tasos and I give our NFL picks. We battle it out each and every week. Whoever comes out on top unit-wise gets the win for the week. Tasos, another dub in the books for me. We did have a bye week, so we're a week behind in terms of record, but I'm now 8-3. You're sitting there at 3-8. Still with some good picks coming out of you, but I've had a good NFL season, so it's been a tough competition here. How you doing at 3-8 there?
I got the fade me pick I wanted last week. I got a
You
couple, like
did.
I said, I had a couple great picks. I took a big shot at that Xavier Worthy touchdown. Didn't go my way. Pretty much everybody on the Chiefs except for Xavier Worthy had a touchdown in that game. And then I just listen, I don't want to look like incompetent, but I didn't even know that Brock Purdy wasn't going to play for the
I don't
49ers.
know
Had
if
I
he was listed even like on the injury report at the
no,
time.
I,
We
I
do
had
we
it
do
wasn't on
record
my
this early. I don't think he was.
he wasn't on my radar. And so then like when Sunday comes and it's like Brandon Allen starting and George Kittle's out and I'm like, oh great, like this is not at all what I wanted, but it is what it is. That's kind of the luck of the draw sometimes.
Yeah, and it's been like you kind of just mentioned too, like, and I even said it, like, even though that record's at 3-8, 8-3, it looks like there's this vast disparity like between our two seasons so far. You've been killing it, and clearly I've been killing it too. So we talked about it last week on the show. We don't have to spend too much time here, but this show compared to last year, we've actually had like a larger number of quality plays thrown out there. You know what I mean? So I guess we could take some pride in that. The record still, I don't know. I don't think you're mathematically eliminated whatsoever,
No.
right? Because we do this all the way throughout the Super Bowl, and we have that preseason show as well. So yeah, we just got to
And the
keep
preseason
keep
show,
grinding.
the preseason show, I'm looking really good because your pick was Bengals in the Super Bowl,
I think I had
and
the Bengals and the 49ers as the matchup, and then I think I might have the Eagles to win it, right?
yeah.
We can
So
refer
I,
back to
I
that. So
had and I
that
had
looks
like
okay still.
I had Steelers to make the playoffs. I had Lions over. I think I had Lions in the Super Bowl. I had Eagles over 10.5 wins. So like that I'm not gonna I don't want to jinx it, but I'm gonna chalk that up as a win. So I'm
Wow.
looking at this.
Don't want to jinx it, but let me just immediately jinx this
I'm
thing.
just my picks look. I would take a disaster, a natural disaster, to tear down the picks I have in that one. So I'm looking at this like all right, I'm 4-8. You're 8-4 if we include the
Yep.
preseason win. We still have 5 weeks left of the regular season, and then you also have wild card, division, conference championship, Super Bowl. So
Yep.
there's still 9 weeks
There's
technically.
plenty. Yeah. Yep.
So down four, if again including that preseason one, 4 picks back, 9 weeks to go. I need to start picking up some wins though. I can't really afford many more losses here, but I'm
Right.
still in this. I'm still in
Yep,
this.
that's fair, and I admit you are. Now, I will say it is Thanksgiving time, so I want to say, with actually, first off, before we even get into our thanks, we are going to be posting this on the main channel. So, taking a little bit of a I don't want to say too much, but risk here. So, if you guys are watching this, make sure to comment, hit that like button, and support this because we are throwing it back up on the channel that we haven't really been posting this type of content on for a while. So, I do really, really appreciate it if you do that. But kind of on that note, thank you guys for all of the support. Tassos and I feel it each and every day. I said it in my Thanksgiving video, which will come out slightly after this, but I said, Tassos, I was like, we don't need Thanksgiving to say thank you. We say thank you all the time, but it is a day that you can make sure that you do. So if you have stuff that's great in your life, good in your life, and all that, you've obviously, if you're watching this, you've changed the course of this channel. It is a great day to say thank you. And I think that we both mean it when we say thank you for the position that we're in.
Yeah, it's incredible. The support through all this stuff, obviously now with the second channel, like the fact that in like 3 weeks we've gained over almost 16,000 new subscribers on the other channel too, and like this channel we have obviously hit over 100,000, and we didn't really get a chance to celebrate that, but it's been incredible. The last couple of years has been insane, but you guys, the support has been crazy. I told Ed the other day, like I've had people now coming up to me in my normal life and being like, "Hey, I know you," and like I had some guy, and I'm sorry that I missed you. He came to the restaurant when I wasn't one of the only times I wasn't there came by and just wanted to meet me. He was, in the area and said, I knew you were over here. So I wanted to just come say hi. I didn't order anything, just wanted to come shake your hand and say hi. And I unfortunately I missed him. Shout out to Francis. And then I was at the bar the other night with my lady, and some guy comes up to me and goes, dude, I watch your videos almost every day. And I'm like, so it's crazy, like meeting people randomly out who just recognize you from YouTube. And
It
so
is. It
it's
is.
crazy. But like you said, I mean, we say thank you all the time, but especially on Thanksgiving, kind of gives you some extra time to reflect and really sit down and think about it. And so we are very thankful, and you guys are incredible. This whole community has been awesome to support. Even when we lose and you give it to us, You guys are incredible.
It's still part of the community, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like brothers fight, siblings fight, friends fight. You lose, you're allowed to say we're projecting our picks out here. You're allowed to
Yep.
be like that was a bad pick, as long as you're coming at it from the right angle. But speaking of bad picks, let's not try and throw that momentum towards this way. You ready to jump into the show?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, let's go ahead and do it. If you guys don't know how this show works, we are going based off of a wheel. You're going to see a wheel that has our names on it first. That's going to decide the draft order. And then we go round by round, 4 rounds. We have 3 of them. We have a wheel that decides the bet category that we jump into. And then the last round is called Fade Me. We'll jump into that and explain that a little bit later, but it's definitely the most unique thing about the show. We've done it for a couple of years now, and I think it's my favorite thing that we do. So let's go ahead and jump in and decide the order here, Tasos. Do
I've
you
been
want to go
crushing.
first or second here?
I want it first. But I want to say I've been crushing Fade Me this year. I've had
You
some
have.
really good ones.
And I have not done what I did last year, which was just like the every Fade Me I got, I gave you the win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's crushing in my brain because it's been it was rough last year. But let's go ahead and spin this one again. Whoever this lands on will be going first. It's a snake draft from there on out.
All right, let's see. I think
If
I'm
that's
gonna
gonna go, yep, it looks like it's
Yep,
gonna
we
land
got it.
on
All
you.
right.
All right, you're calling your shots lately. I mean,
The
you're
wheel's
doing
been
your thing.
been kind. The wheel's been kind.
It really has. All right, you're now going to see a second wheel on your screen. There's going to be a bunch of categories that we have to make our picks from here. There is one Thanksgiving Day spot, which kind of replaces the Thursday night. We have 2 totals, 2 spreads, 2 money lines, 2 player props. We have TD scorer and plus money play. Tassos, as we do this and the years go on, we're going to have a crazy wheel eventually, which is going to be absolutely electric. But because this is like just scratching the surface, we've added 2 things this year.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I do have a request though, if it's
Okay.
possible. I know we're live recording. I think we should do for the people one more Thanksgiving slice.
All right,
We got
let's
3
do it.
games on We got 3 games on Thanksgiving. I feel like one extra slice, just because I know people. Everyone's gonna be home watching the games. Maybe we have an opportunity to give an extra play in that one.
All right,
Just
here
a
we go.
suggestion.
Boom. It's in there.
All right, perfect.
Talk about doing it live. All right, I'm going to shuffle this once, and then let's run it here. Sounds like Tassos just wants a Thanksgiving play. He has a bunch of
I
play.
do have.
Yeah, okay.
I do have some Thanksgiving plays.
Ooh.
All right, we got a plus money play. I have a lot.
play.
I have a lot of these.
Me too. I do have a lot of plus money plays too, but you're starting us off.
Yep.
By the
right,
way, guys, that
see.
plus money play now gets removed from the board.
Yep. All right, let's see. What do I want to go with here? I have a lot of options. I'm gonna go ahead and rock with. All right, this one's interesting. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the. Yeah, we'll go Thanksgiving. Actually, we'll go with Thanksgiving. We're gonna go Dolphins money line here, plus 150 on ESPN bet.
You are kidding me.
Yes.
You are kidding me.
Yes.
No way.
Dolphins money line plus 150 right now on ESPN bet. The Packers got lucky because, and I'm an owner, so I can speak on this. The fact that they got to play the 49ers without Brock Purdy, without Kittle, without everything, was lucky. This team has been playing sloppy so much this year. It's been, as an owner, I've been fired up about it. Jordan Love, the interceptions have been crazy. This team has narrowly won so many games where it's like they probably should have lost a lot of these, but they're the opposite of the Bengals this year, right? Where the Bengals have lost all these one-score games. The Packers have won so many one-score games. Going through their record right now, they beat the Bears by 1. They block a field goal on that one. They should have lost that one to the Bears. They narrowly survived the Jaguars 30-27. They narrowly survived the Texans 24-22. I mean, some weird performances here from them. But they've got some issues. I mean, defensively, they're a solid team. Offensively, they're solid on both sides of the ball. This is clearly a playoff team, but they've definitely got some weaknesses. In Miami is a team that's trending in the right direction. This is a must-win game for them.
I think they're back.
The Dolphins, obviously, they need this.
I think Miami's back.
Yeah, and Miami's back. Tua, listen, he's come back from the concussion with like superpowers. He's looked incredible. Like he's been insane, and their offensive, we know what they can do. And the Packers, when you look at their defense, their strength, they're 10th against the pass, 13th against the rush. But this Dolphins offense, with the way it's clicking right now, they're a different animal altogether. And this secondary forces turnovers, man. Jalen Ramsey's a really good corner. With the way Jordan Love's been kind of careless with the football, I could see this game being close, but I think Miami has, with their offense firing on all cylinders, and with the Green Bay Packers, again, they're they like to turn the ball over quite a bit. They're actually defensively, they actually do force quite a bit of turnovers, but offensively, this team is giving up a lot of turnovers. Like I said, Jordan Love, I think he's thrown an interception almost every game this season. But Miami's defense actually, believe it or not, they're tied for 11th in scoring. They're top 10 against the pass and against the run. The run is really important because obviously we know Josh Jacobs has
Yep.
been having a pretty solid year. But yeah, this is a pretty solid Dolphins defense across the board. I like this Miami team a lot right now. I just think Green Bay, they're due for a loss. I feel like they've gotten lucky with a lot of these. I think Miami can go ahead and put on a show here. So give me the Dolphins on the money line here, plus 150.
Yeah, you saw my reaction. And just to prove it for the people watching and for you, I've already recorded my Thanksgiving slate video like before we record this, and I liked Miami in that one as well because now this is a drastic leap to like a take. I don't really fully believe this, but I think this Green Bay defense is kind of hollow. Like you look at, okay, well, Detroit, they only let up 24. Great. Okay, that's a really good look, right? But Jacksonville 27, Chicago, they started now Chicago to kind of get back with their wheels underneath them with 19 points. San Francisco with a backup quarterback. Obviously, that's not a great spot, but I don't really believe all that much on this in this defense. And I might argue that if the Dolphins are healthy, which knock knock they are, they might have a better offense. Like we are now. I'm saying might. We are only Tua getting hurt removed from this Miami team being like the most explosive offense in the league and a consensus everyone believed it. So they go through this rough patch and all of a sudden it's like, oh, they're not good anymore. It's like, no, this is great. And their defense, now Miami hasn't played, the hardest of schedules lately, but their defense is on the right track. And I actually kind of harped on that part coming into this game because I think that both these offenses should be able to do okay and whatnot. But I think the defense that actually steps up is going to be Miami. Like the fact that they've shut down the run as of late, they're only allowing 72 rushing yards in their last 3 games is huge. You could be like, well, they played Los Angeles, then they played Las Vegas, New England. I get it. But overall, I think their defense is clicking right now. The only team since Tua's come back that really lit them up was Buffalo. It's like, okay, well, that's freaking Buffalo, you know what I mean? So yeah, I love the pick, Tasos. I'm surprised that you went there, but also not surprised at the same time. So this either means it's a absolute great plus money pick, or we're both just dead wrong because I
Yeah.
like Miami too. All right, guys, take a quick break for a second to tell you something that we've told you before, but we're going to tell you again. Outlier is the best research tool for all of your sports picks. If you feel like you are struggling, you need to get this tool. From their game screen, you can see all of the lines, best odds available, as well as hit rates. You can dive in and look at the match more intimately with the rankings and everything else. They also have their prop screen, which I absolutely love. You can filter through to kind of narrow it down and chisel down that slab of stone to what you like. So if you have a specific odd range you're looking at and that type of thing, you can go through, see their last 5, last 10, head-to-head this year and last year. Pro features also have EV, boosts, arbitrage, and middling. But what I like, and especially if you don't have all the time in the world, is this Insights tab. You can go through and filter as well. Say you're looking for things that are minus 130 and above, right? So all of a sudden, now you're looking at trending plays in the market. They show the hit rate. They show where the best odds are. Really cool, guys. You get 7 days of a trial down below in the pinned comment and the description. Go check out H2H's sponsor, Outlier. Go check it out. Do not miss out on this. It's great for all sports as well. We're looking at football here. NBA, it's killer in. Go check out Outlier. That link is down below.
I just think Miami, like even in their losses, like so Tua's been back for 5 games, right? His first game back after missing, almost all the, was it 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks he had missed consecutively, a whole month
Yep.
he was out. They lose to Arizona barely by 1. Solid game from them. Then they play Buffalo. Now Buffalo usually beats the hell out of them. That game came down to a Tyler Bass miracle field goal to win it. They played Buffalo really tight in that one. And then since then, they beat the Rams on Monday Night Football pretty steadily. They crushed the Raiders and they crushed the Patriots. So they've been looking since Tua's return, even in the losses, they look really solid. On the flip side, and I do agree with you on Green Bay, where it's like their defense, the numbers look good. But if you look at some of the opponents they played this year, they hold the Colts to 10 points back in week 2. They hold the Titans to 14 back in week 3. They hold the Rams without Cooper Kupp, without Puka Nacua. They hold them to 19 points. They hold the Cardinals to 13 before Arizona had finally kind of got it going.
Yep.
The Texans they beat and they keep them 22, but Houston, we've seen their offense has not been great. Like, the only, like you said, yeah, they hold Detroit to 24, but like, is that all that impressive? The Bears, they held 19 points, but it's Chicago. The Niners 10 points with Brandon Allen. So like their best defensive performances are either against A, bad teams, or B, teams that are good, but we're missing key players on the offensive side of the football in those games. So I'm not saying the Packers defense isn't solid. I think it is solid, but I think they've had the benefit of, some weaker games. And when they have played good offenses, they gave up 31 to the Vikings, 24 to the Lions, 27 to the Jaguars. And that was, Trevor, I wouldn't call the Jaguars a great offense. Like, they have given up points. They gave up 34 points to the Eagles back in
I
week
wouldn't
one. So,
either.
like, yeah. So it's, I think this defense has had some luck with some of the schedule stuff.
Yep.
But I think Miami, with the way they're trending in the right direction, I think Miami is the right play here. For plus 152, plus 150
Yeah.
slash
As
two.
well.
Yeah, as well. It's good value.
Yeah, I'm going in a little bit different direction here. Looking at a running back now, I am getting a really good line in this, and I actually already took it myself. So if you watch my Sunday slate games, you will see this one. This is the only it's on FanDuel right now for plus 100. So I know that we're kind of wussing out when either of us have a plus money play and we take 100. But hey, rules are rules. There is a plus sign next to it, right? Jonathan Taylor to record a touchdown here against the Patriots. Patriots allowing, it's like the 10th or 11th most touchdowns to opposing running backs. He hasn't scored in 4 weeks. They've played Minnesota, Buffalo, say what you want about the Jets, and Detroit. This Patriots team and defense is not, obviously the defense wasn't what it was years ago. I don't really see much of a reason why Jonathan Taylor shouldn't kind of get his feet back under him here. Again, maybe it's a little soft, the plus 100 look when we're on plus money here, but I feel like he should be able to go out there and at least punch one in. This Indianapolis team has been just kind of, I don't even know how to say it, like up and down. They've had a lot more downs. There's times when this team looks really good, and it's a lot when like either Anthony Richardson's looking good or the offense is chugging along. And then there's times when they look absolutely god awful, right? We've seen that multiple times. Anthony Richardson's looks like he's like could be the Ben Simmons of football. It's like, are you throwing with the right arm? Sometimes. But against this Patriots team, like they're making some running backs and some other players, other teams look good lately. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like, and again, for plus money for Jonathan Taylor to put one in when he hasn't scored in, I want to say it's like, yeah, he hasn't scored in 4 weeks. We talk about it all the time when we're taking a guy that has done, he's like 100% hit rate. We're like, oh, he's due to not do it. A guy like Jonathan Taylor who hasn't scored in 4 weeks, it just seems like against the Patriots could be in a nice cold game when they're going to rely on the running back. Seems like it's a spot for him to come in here and punch one in.
Yeah, I can't argue with you. I hate Jonathan Taylor this year because I have him in almost every I drafted him almost every fantasy league thinking this was going to be a breakout year. Hey, he's healthy this year. They got Anthony Richardson, the offensive line's good, all this stuff. I thought the Colts were going to be a lot better than they are. And he's between him getting hurt and missing like 4
Yeah.
weeks, and every week being like, maybe he's going to play, maybe not, and then him coming back and doing nothing. He's been frustrating, but the Patriots are Viagra for offenses. Like they make every offense, like the Dolphins last week, 34 points, the Rams 28. Like they make offenses look really good. I know he hasn't scored, but everything you said is 100% true. It's going to be a cold game in New England. They're going to probably rely on the running game a lot. This Pats run defense has not been very good this year. The one area where they're strong, because they have Christian Gonzalez, is their secondary, but this run defense, due to injuries and also coaching and whatnot, it's a bad match. But like I said, Jonathan Taylor is a great running back. It's crazy to think that at any point this year you get him for plus money on an anytime touchdown prop. So even if it's just plus 100, a pretty good prop. And honestly, Ev, not to just say this because I'm blowing smoke up your ass, I actually was planning on taking this pick this weekend. I actually did like the Jonathan Taylor touchdown prop. I was going to throw it maybe in a parlay, maybe bet it straight up. I like the prop though.
All right, I love it. And you know what? Even as I look into it now, it looks like the Patriots also haven't allowed a running back touchdown in a while, which you might be thinking, oh, that's like a bad spell for it. That just aligns exactly. Like both teams are due on both sides to let the running back in, and we're not talking like a no-name running back. We're literally talking about. I know he's burned you this year in fantasy. We're talking Jonathan Taylor.
It's still Jonathan Taylor.
Exactly. So, all right, Jonathan Taylor for plus 100 there. Now we jump into the wheel. Tasos, you got me in the morning this week, so I am sharp. I'm going first this round.
Yes, you are. This is good. We needed this. I needed
You're like, good. All right, here we go. Let's spin it. I honestly, I do have a player prop that I really like, and it's gonna be one of those where you're like, I can't argue it. But I think give me anything here. I don't really love the totals this week. That's the only thing I don't like. So I probably shouldn't have said that because now I'm gonna get it.
And the total tease. I didn't get to do it last week.
You didn't.
People miss it.
All right.
We're getting Thanksgiving Day.
Okay. Well.
I already one play is off the board.
You just used your Thanksgiving. All right.
I
I
got
am starting
one.
to.
I got one left, and I'm really praying you don't take it.
I don't think I'll take it because, well, I'm going player prop first
All
and
right, good. So you
foremost.
didn't take it. You
Yep.
didn't take it.
And let me get to, let's see. All right, player prop here. Where the heck is it? Oh, now you got me rattled. My list of.
Uh-oh.
This is tough. You're watching the break. Oh, I got it. All right. What is the line at right now?
Oh
Ooh,
boy.
I have two, and I want to go in one of two directions with this one. Okay, I'm gonna go with the, I guess what I would consider a little bit more of the safer one here. I'm looking at DJ Moore over 54 and a half. Is it 54 and a half? Oh, no, over 49 and a half right now. It's minus 140. So this is an alternate ish line. His normal line is 54 for like minus 117, but minus 140 right now, over 49 and a half receiving yards. This is a game, Chicago playing Detroit. I do think Chicago is going to trail at some point this game, and or they're going to have to be able to throw the ball. Obviously, because Detroit's been winning so many games, some of their numbers against wide receivers are skewed, but nonetheless, I don't see this game going all that like crazily different. Allowing the third most receiving yards to opposing wide receivers this year. DJ Moore, last two games, 62 and 106. Maybe they've kind of figured out their crap there in Chicago. I'm not exactly sure of that, but I think he's going to get the quantity regardless. And his last two games here against Detroit, which both of them have been on Chicago, both last year though, 96 yards, and I believe that might have been that was November 19th last year, so that wouldn't be. I don't know if that would be around. Did they play on Thanksgiving last year? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't think. Wait,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, right. So and then next game 68. So I mean, 96 and 68, averaging over his last two 82 yards against them. I think he's going to get a lot of quantity, whether or not he has a good game or not. I think 49 and a half should be easy pickings for DJ.
Yeah, I like you've been on the ball with the player props this year. I can't really shit on you
Oh,
for it. The Lions, their weakness is actually their pass defense, and again, like you said, some of the numbers are skewed because of the fact that like they're always up by so much, so teams have to throw on them extra, and so their numbers are a little bit skewed. I think this is solid pass defense, but I think everyone would probably agree they're stronger against the run than they are against the pass.
mm,
The Bears, since firing Shane Waldron, last couple of games look pretty good, and DJ Moore finally last week got going a little bit, and so I think with the Bears, as long as Eberflus is the head coach, you're never fully gonna know what's gonna go right or wrong for you. But I can't hate on it. I think the Lions are probably gonna build a sizable lead. They're 10-point favorites for a reason. I
yep.
think the Lions are gonna probably give them a good show. And in that scenario, the Bears are gonna have to air it out. And I think DJ Moore obviously in that scenario would probably get a lot more targets. So I can't really hate on the
And
pick. I like the pick.
and he was the squeaky wheel. Like, I hate kind of giving the guy credit for it, but he was the one walking off the field. Or when, was it 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago when Caleb Williams got up after being kind of, like he was hobbled a little bit. DJ Moore walked by him and did one of those, like, hit him with the shoulders. And it's like, this guy was the malcontent. And I don't think he doesn't seem like he's all that pissed anymore. So, unfortunately, I do say unfortunately, especially on like a wholesome episode like Thanksgiving, sometimes that like that dick does get the attention. You know what I mean? And it's been clear the last 2 weeks. He's super talented. They're paying him like he needs to be fed. And I think Caleb Williams is better if DJ Moore is getting the ball and playing well. And that should be no like shocking news to anyone, but squeaky wheel gets the grease, and I don't see any reason why, he can't do it 3 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, like I said, I really cannot hate on the pick. Overall, I think it's a solid player prop. I think if you're going to go wide receiver props, I think DJ Moore is probably the right one to go with there. All the other receivers on that Bears offense, like a Dunze, Keenan Allen, you really can't rely on any of them.
Yep.
So I think DJ Moore has been the most consistent one. He's the one you can rely on the most. And like I said, I think this, whatever way you shake it out, whether it's a close game, whether it's a blowout, he's going to get targets. He's going to get a healthy amount of targets. So I like the spot. A good prop. Like I said,
All right.
you with the player props this year, you've been pretty solid. I can't really go against it.
Appreciate that. What do you got?
You made me change my pick. I think I'm gonna. You know what? No, I'm not gonna do this because this is what always happens. You psych me because I see the player prop. I'm like, you know what? Let me match him. I want to show you that I can give you the good player props too. But you know what? I'm not gonna do that because I have a pick that I really like, and it's piggybacking off of my earlier pick. And if I'm wrong, if I'm flat out wrong about the Dolphins, this is gonna be a horrible week.
Uh-oh.
I'm going Dolphins team total over 20.5 points. It's from minus 125 odds on DraftKings. Now, I know people are over. We've already talked about it. I'm not going to go too much into it, but people are overvaluing this Packers defense. Do people not realize that the sportsbook market's not realize that Miami has now scored 23 or more points in 5 straight games? They're averaging 29 points per game over their last 5 games. They scored 27 in the Cardinals, 27 against Buffalo, 23 against the Rams, 34 against the Raiders, and 34 against the Patriots. This team has been on a since Tua's return. This offense is averaging 29 points per game. They've been putting up crazy numbers. All we need is 3 touchdowns. 21 points, I don't think is crazy to ask for of this team. Overall this year, just a 45% hit rate. But again, they didn't cash it in the first 2 games. And then in the 4 weeks without Tua, they didn't even hit 20 points, let alone 21 or any more higher. But going back to last season, again, when Tua was healthy most of the year, they had a 61% hit rate on this over, 27.94 points per game last season. And the Packers have given up in some of these games 21 or more points. I'm actually going to pull it up right now just to see what the tally is for games where they've given up more. So we got so the Packers, they gave up 24 to the Lions, 27 to the Jaguars, that's 2, 22 to the Texans, that's 3, 31 to the Vikings, that's 4, and then 34 to the Eagles. So 5 of their 11 games, they've given up at least 21 points. So this is pretty good data on their part. When they played teams similar to Miami, it seems they've given up 3 touchdowns or more. So I like the spot here for the Dolphins, over 20.5 team total.
Yeah, I mean, you are putting a lot of eggs in the basket, but you're also kind of potentially hedging yourself too. You know what I mean? Like, what if, you took them money line, but what if, the Giants, or excuse me, the Packers are smacking them and they still go out there and score 21. So I don't think it's necessary. It does definitely correlate, but you just can't have a Miami stinker of a game, whether they, you know what I mean? If this is a high scoring game, you still have a way that you could win both or
one or the other, yeah.
One or the other. So yeah, I do like the spot. I mean, we talked about them earlier in the show, so I don't want to get into it either. But I'm not the biggest believer in the team that you own in the Packers defense. I really am starting to lose it. And again, like my whole thought process, it's not the most analytical, but we're not that far removed from the consensus highest powered offense in the league, being Miami. Even if Miami never got hurt, you can now make the argument, okay, Detroit is this high powered offense. Yes. But like Miami is the team that scored 70 last year and came in better this year and blah blah blah. So yeah, I'm with you on this one. I like that pick as well. Look at that. We're not even at each other's throats on a Thanksgiving episode. We're just nice guys over here. That's the true spirit.
Absolutely. I just think the Dolphins are going to win this game. They've got to score 3 touchdowns. The one thing, and I hate giving the reason why I could potentially lose, but I have to play devil's advocate to myself.
No, because that way you sound smart even if you do lose. I mean, it's
the one thing that does scare me. Yeah, it's kind of an insurance policy.
I told you.
It's kind of an insurance policy. The one thing I am scared of is the fact that this is in Lambeau. So it is a warm weather, and the Dolphins have absolutely struggled in cold weather games. That's the one area where I'm a little concerned here. But I still think this Dolphins offense is good enough to at least get close to that number, at least score 21 points, even in the cold weather. They should be able to do that.
I agree. All right, we're jumping into the final round. Tasos, you're going to be starting us off here. And we have this round and then the Fade Me round, which, again, I'll give you a little bit more of. I can just explain it now. The Fade Me round, essentially, we'll jump into after this. We're going to spin the wheel. Whoever gets that gets to pick up a play, any play. No, correlation to the wheel and whatnot. The other person has to take the opposite. So stick around for that round and let us know. Comment. What should they comment today, Tasos, if they made it this far in the video?
If you made this far in the video, comment what's your favorite Thanksgiving food? What's your go-to kind of lineup, whether it be one item or your whole spread? What do you guys go for on Thanksgiving? Myself, I'm more of a simplistic guy. I'm a turkey, stuffing, mashed potato with gravy, maybe one butternut squash or something like that. I don't get too crazy with some. I see some people will go wild with some of this stuff, but I think keeping it simple on Thanksgiving is the way to go. Personally,
I'm with you. Honestly. Sauce. That is probably what I would like. If we have the whole spread, I'm going obviously turkey, stuffing, gravy, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is a good,
but that's to me, like, I wouldn't personally, I don't mind mac and cheese, but I wouldn't personally have it in my family Thanksgiving. I just feel like it's a wild card. That's like a new thing.
I'm sure, but I remember having that when I was like 2 years old, so I don't know how new it can be. But I do think that, okay, fine, if it's there's no chance of passing it up. But I'm not exactly the most eccentric Thanksgiving eater either. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm kind of in the same. Butternut squash is awesome, and I only eat it like a couple times a year. But yeah, comment your favorite Thanksgiving foods down below if you made it this far. That'll be our way and your way of knowing. It's like if you know, you know. Some people be like, why are they just commenting butternut squash or something like that? And it's how we suss out the guppies there. But all right, we got this round. What are you looking for here? Because now you wanted Thanksgiving, and now you've already given out a
Two.
couple of Thanksgiving plays. So what are you looking for now?
I have a lot of options. I have a lot of options.
Okay.
I listen to Total Tease. We missed it last week. Kind of want that, but
Okay.
I'll be honest with the people. The player props are the one area because we're still, other than Thanksgiving, we're still early in the week. So a lot of the Sunday player props, we don't have a lot of stuff.
Yep.
So that's the one area where I'm like, maybe we pump the brakes on that. But other than that, I like everything else.
All right, let's spin it. I do have one more player prop that I would love to get.
I have two. I have two loaded up, but they are Thanksgiving
Come on
props.
now,
So
keep going, please. I don't like
keep
the total. I don't like
no.
the totals. Let's go.
Ah,
You are starting us
you
off
missed the
though.
total tease. You missed the total tease.
Maybe.
Ah,
Well, I guess technically, like literally. All right. Well,
damn.
you got a player prop now. That is not your forte, and now you're going first. So I feel like I'm in the driver's seat for this one because there's a if you get this one, if you pick mine, I will. I don't even. I was gonna say forfeit the week, but like that just seems like it's a tough one.
Do I go Dolphins again and just go like a Dolphin sweep, just every pick Dolphins? No, I do have another Thanksgiving play. I'm gonna go ahead. This was what I was deciding between when I said, "Oh, I might go player prop." I'm going Jamison Williams here over 48.5 receiving yards in that Bears Lions game. So I'm loving Thanksgiving this week. I love
You are.
all the picks in those. The data is fantastic on this prop, and you're getting it for minus 110 bet 365, minus 115 on DraftKings. So pretty good value too. The one thing I will say, and I'm gonna be honest here, I didn't find this for somebody else, but since I added this to my plays this morning, I went on TikTok and like Twitter stuff. This play seems to be a public play. So one area, but I am taking a little bit of an alternate. I think most people are taking it over 50. I'm going a little bit less.
Okay.
Dad has been fantastic. He's cashed it in 7 out of 9 games this year, 78% hit rate. He's averaging 66.89 receiving yards per game. So he's not just cashing the number, he's typically going far over. Only 2 times this year has he failed to cash the over, which was on September 22nd versus the Cardinals, he had just 9 yards. And then on October 20th versus the Vikings, he actually had -4 yards, which is pretty kind of crazy. But overall, pretty good. And even good defenses he's done it against. Like, opponent rank for wide receivers, like the Texans were top 10. He had 53 yards in that game. A couple of good defense. He actually has played a lot of bad defenses too. But, overall, really good numbers for Jamison Williams here. His average yards per reception this year is 19.1. So like he doesn't get a lot of targets. He's only getting about 5 targets per game, but he doesn't need a lot. Like 3 catches and he gets that over. Like
Mhm.
especially with the average yards per reception, he's a big play guy. He's got really good numbers against zone coverage this year, and the Bears love to sit in zone coverage. So it is a good matchup. I will say, again, not to keep poking holes in my own logic, but each of his last 2 meetings with the Bears, he failed to cash the over. That being said, though, looking back at the last season, he had 2 targets in their last meeting in December. He had 0 catches, so only 2 targets. The meeting before that, he had 2 catches on 3 targets, and he had 44 yards. So he just barely missed it in the previous one. This year, last year in general, he averaged 3 targets per game. This year, he's averaging 5. So they're definitely working him into the offense a little bit more. I think the Bears, when you look at their defense this year, they're not as good as we thought they were. The Bears defense definitely, the numbers still look okay, but I think overall most people can understand like they've been getting torched in some of these games. But they are 13th against the pass right now, which isn't it's not great. It's not bad though. I just think Jamison Williams in this matchup seems like a good spot. 1 or 2 catches is all you really need for him to cash the over.
Yeah, I don't mind it. He is that deep threat. And just on the point of the Bears defense, last 3 weeks, 257.3 passing yards allowed. That is the fifth worst.
Pretty bad.
So yeah,
Yeah.
13th overall, but they've been terrible in the last 3 weeks. And I don't know if you mentioned it, but did you mention how good he is at home? Did you? Because I have that number right. He's averaging this season 101 receiving yards at home
Yeah.
this year,
100% hit rate at
121.
home.
Yeah, 79, 80, and 124. The fact that he's in triple digits at home makes me a little worried of this play. I do like it. I can't really poke many holes in it. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, the reason I like DJ Moore would be the hole that I poke. Do they take those deep shots? Do they take those long shots at him? If and that's that he can, like you said, 1 or 2 catches kind of hit this because he is that absolute burner. If they're up by 13, do they do that? Honestly,
That's
if
yeah.
there's any team in the league that's going to do it, it's Detroit. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
doing trick plays up like that. So there's a little bit of reassurance there. That isn't the worst spot there. I have a kicker prop,
Oh God.
but I don't know where you're going to come out on this one because it's kind of counters my Jonathan Taylor play. It's
Oh no.
Matt Gay, the Indianapolis kicker, over 1.5 field goals made. That does not. I mean, yes, it's pretty simple how one guy could score and then you could still kick 2 field goals, but the plot is over 1.5 field goals made. He has hit this in 9 straight games. This New England defense, if there's one spot that they start to shore up against, it's when they get to the red zone. And I'm not saying really they're still like 19th, so it's not all that great, right? So, but we've seen some nice little stands there. And this offense in the red zone for Indianapolis is just ranked 24th at a 52.8% TD conversion rate. So, I mean, they kick a lot of field goals. There's a reason why this dude is averaging so his 10th most recent game. So we flash all the way back, right? And he's still averaging 2 field goals made. He had 0 in that game. So in his last 9 games, it's 2-2-2. 3, 2-2-2, 3-2. He should be able to get this one. Right now, that is minus 133 over on Caesars. Again, I almost looked at his kicking points, which would just mean he needs that one extra point to get over this one. But I went with the field goals made because of the hit rate. This may be your week, Tasos, because now I have 2 Colts in like a messy game. But I eyed this one. I had both of them, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have to take both of them. I did. Matt Gay over 1.5 field goals made.
I don't hate it, and another stat to throw your way that helps your case. The one of the reasons why he's kicking so many field goals, this Colts team struggles on third down. They are
There you go.
23rd in the they're 23rd in the NFL, 36% hit rate on third down. So not very good. Team struggles, and the Patriots are actually top 20 in third down conversion rate. So they're pretty not a good not good, but not the worst. And the Colts, this team tends to stall. 24th in red zone efficiency, 23rd in third down, 28th in first downs. So this team struggles to get yards, to get first downs. I could very well see this, not even red zone, just, the Colts maybe because, a turnover from the Patriots, maybe they get the ball in good starting position, like in the Patriots territory, but then they can't move the ball and they end up having to kick a field goal. I think it's a pretty good play. Like I said, I can't really poke too many holes in the logic behind it because, like I said, he's been cashing consistently. The
Yep.
Patriots, I don't know what the number is, like what field goals allowed. I don't know if you can see that, but I would imagine it's a pretty decent number.
Against the Patriots defense.
Yeah.
Let's see. On the season, field goal, 14th. So I guess they're actually not all that terrible, averaging 1.7 against. So that doesn't really support it. It doesn't crush it though.
This Colts offense just isn't that good. Like the reason why they're probably 14th is because normally New England gives up touchdowns. They normally give up more scores, but like the Colts offense is not that potent. Like it's not. And I know we obviously not to shit on your Jonathan Taylor take, but like they haven't been scoring a lot of touchdowns this year.
Yep.
They've been getting stalled up at a lot of these drives. So and although I do think they'll have more success versus New England versus some of the other teams they've played, I do think him to kick a couple field goals is a pretty reasonable bet.
Now where, because this is now off the board, this one. But if you were to take this one, would you have gone field goals made or total kicking points? Because his total line was 6.5. So essentially he would, obviously these 2 would be 6, right? If he cashed this, and then he needs 1 extra point.
I would have went total kicking points.
You think so?
I think my thing is I think the Colts are going to score at least 20 plus. Like I think they're going to score a decent amount of points on the Patriots defense. So I'd probably lean kicking points. But again, if he's going to get 6.5 kicking points, he's going to probably make 2 field goals close to that. At least one. He's definitely gonna make a field goal.
So that's what I was thinking. You don't get to 6.5 with 3. Like he's not gonna 4 extra
They're not
points.
Scoring 7 touchdowns.
I know exactly. I know the Patriots are bad defensively, but even if he kicks 1 field goal, that means they need to have 4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's still a lot. So I mean that's why I went to field goals made. I bounced back and forth though, so I was curious.
Yeah, no, I think either one's not a bad play. I would probably lean the kicking points just because. No, actually, no. Now that I think about it, though, honestly, like you said, in order to get 6.5, you're going to have to make probably 2 field goals. Like you said, they'd have to score over 30 points then in order to hit that without the multiple. So yeah, I think
the only reason I considered kick points is because I have Jonathan Taylor touchdown, and I like to be able to double dip into those. You know what I mean? They correlate, but yeah, I think that if we put these in a vacuum, then obviously we're looking at I think the field goals is probably the move. But all right, it is time for Fade Me now, correct?
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. Let me open up the wheel here. All right, guys. Like I already explained, I'll do it again briefly. This is the fade me round. This wheel's either going to land on Tasso or it's going to land on myself. Whoever it lands on gets to make a play for any play they want. As long as there's another side to it, we can take it, and then the other person has to take the opposite. Tassos got me last week by taking the Bucks -5.5, meaning I had to roll with the Giants +5.5, which my eyeballs bled watching that damn thing. The Bucks were legit, and even if you go back and watch how Tassos spoke about it, it's like it was pretty on point, which was a good look. But Tassos, I'm assuming you want fade me again this week.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't mind. It's similar to what I said last week. Like I feel like pretty good about my plays right now. I don't know how much more I have necessarily in the clip. Like I hit my spots, and there's weeks when you come into this round or I come into this round, and it's like, oh my god, I feel like the board wasn't what I wanted. I want fade me to get one on mine. I feel like I got a couple of my plays out there, so I'm okay. Honestly, might be crazy to say okay if you get this one.
The clip's loaded for me. I have a lot of picks I didn't get to use. I love the board. The last week the board was weird. This week I love the board across. So I have a lot of good picks. And obviously, guys, check out the Oracle. It'll be out actually today. I think later on in the day. But I'll have the rest of my picks I don't give out in today's video, in this video, later on in that one, because obviously we can't get through all of our picks. But I do have some really nice plays, and I have one in particular that I think would be funny. And also, it's a really good pick, and I think it'd probably piss you off a little bit. So I'm hoping I get it.
Yeah, you want that one. All right, let's spin it.
Let's see, though. Can we get it for the people? Thanksgiving, can we get slow.
No.
Slow.
All right, come
to me. What a tease.
Oh, wow. All right. Like I said, I'm not exactly like all over this one. You know what I mean? I do have I don't know if no, I don't want to do that. I feel like that'd give you a little bit too much kind of confidence. Would it be crazy of me to take a plus money? Yeah, obviously, right?
Go for it, Ev. Go for it.
No. I don't think that that's the move. This is a tough one.
Go with your gut. Your gut instinct was this plus money play, so I think you have to do it. I think the people want it now. You can't tease us like that.
I don't know if I don't think I can get there. I would be. All right, I'm gonna go with a spot here. And oh man, see now this wasn't on my list. I had a couple plus monies, and I'm like, I don't think that those are the move. But I do think that I still am gonna admit that I like this one. It's a money line play, so your side of it will end up being +130. What do you think of those odds? So clearly, it's not like this crazy favorite.
I'm scanning the board now to see what. I think you gave me a pick that I like. I don't know though. We'll see. I don't know though, because there's another play.
I'm sticking to what I'm picking, so don't worry. Even if you say anything, I'm not switching up.
Okay, go ahead. But there's one or two spots this could be based on the odds I'm looking at in front of me, and I'm scared of one of them.
Let me see which one you think it is. I'm gonna try and look at the. Oh no, it's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be the one you don't want. Money line play, Rams money line. They're going up against the Saints. I didn't
see that one.
Rams money line. I get -145. You get the Saints at +130. I actually think the Saints are obviously better than they were 3-4 weeks ago, right? But they've won 2 straight games. The Rams have now lost 2 of their last 3. This is in New Orleans, sure, but this is it's not a must-win spot for the Rams. I'm not trying to, blow smoke up your what, but this gets them back to 500. The Saints winning 2 straight, like I don't envision the Saints winning 3 straight games. This Rams coming off of a game against the Eagles. Yeah, Rams money line. You hate it. You hate your side, right? This wasn't even this wasn't even on my board. What was the +130 you thought I was going with?
I thought you were going I thought you were going to take the Bengals and I get the Steelers, and I was like, thank you.
That was on my. So see, I was like indifferent. So that was one of mine, right? And then I didn't. And then the other one that I was potentially looking at here, where is it? I was thinking, where the hell did it go? I was going to give you plus money at. What the heck?
The one I was scared of, the one I thought you were going to take, one that you scared me was I thought you were going to take the Colts and just go all in on this Colts game, and then I would have Pat's money line, and I'm like,
that's what I thought. That's what I knew you were talking, because that's +132. But no, LA, like I said, it's I think the better team first and foremost. Secondarily, the Saints team is due for a loss, whether they're getting healthy or not. The Rams are a better team.
Just a heads up for people out there. This is one of my picks in the Oracle. Spoiler: I have Rams -3, which actually is plus money on ESPN Bet right now.
+102.
I don't. This Saints team, now the only advantage I will say is they are coming off their bye week, so they had an extra week of rest, an extra week to go ahead and prep for this one. But
Yeah,
the
but they're so
whole
two wins in a row for them is just too much.
yeah, but like let's take a look at who they beat. They beat Atlanta, who's just falling apart, and they beat the Browns. And Jameis Winston threw like a bunch of picks and just didn't. It just I don't. The Saints team's not good. They had the new coach bump for a little bit, and I know he's kind of he's everybody's media darling. They all make it the clogging the toilet jokes and stuff like that, and he's not. The Saints team's not good. Like it's still Derek Carr. It's still this offensive line. It's still this team. Like they still have no weapons. Like their receivers are all gone. Like I just don't like this team at all. And I think the Rams. The Saints are their season's over. Like the Saints aren't going to the playoffs. The Rams still could. They can still
Hmm.
win their division. This game just means so much more for LA. This Saints team, like I said, the only advantage I'll give them is the fact they're coming off the bye week, so they had an extra week to prep for this one. Whereas the Rams are coming off a tough loss against a really good Eagles team. I just don't see the Saints winning this game. I think the Rams kill them, to be totally honest. I think the Saints team, people have forgotten how bad they lost to the Panthers just not very long ago, like 3 weeks ago. They lost to
Yeah,
Carolina. Like this
and
team is
getting
not good.
getting more healthy. Like the one spot that they're not getting more healthy at is their offensive line still dinged up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that was where they started to kind of slide. Before Derek Carr got injured. You know what I mean? So even though he's back, I still like it. You have Chris Olave who's not playing, right? So it's like,
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
out. Rashid
it's
Shaheed's out. I mean, this team
exactly.
doesn't
So
have
yeah,
much going. It's a Derek Carr dink and dunk show. I don't like it.
that was
Like,
a
people have forgotten already. This team lost 7 straight games after they had their first 2 weeks where everyone's like, "Oh my god, this offense, it's the best. Is it the greatest show on turf reborn?" And it's like they lost 7 in a row with 1, 2, 3, 4 games straight by double digits. Like this team is not good. I know Derek Carr was out for a lot of that, but even with Carr back, like they lost to the Panthers. That's bad. You
yeah.
don't lose to Carolina and get to live about it and get to talk about it. Like it's
And this Rams team, they're 5-6, right? They are they've played the seventh hardest schedule so far
yeah.
this season. I mean, they're good. I will say too, like Derek Carr, we can't act like Derek Carr's like a savior either, right? This guy was on a near poverty franchise for a long
They're going to
time.
cut him
It's
after
like
this year. The Saints are
like
cutting him at the end of the
it's not
season.
like he's just like, oh my god, they're getting him back. So yeah, I like the spot. I will say, like I even mentioned, this wasn't really even on my board until I started to scan. But I'm loving my side of things. What do you think about your 4 plays, or at least your 3? We know how you feel about the Saints.
I like the Thanksgiving. I like the Dolphins plays. I love it. I those are again spoiler. Those are 2 picks I was giving out already in the Oracle. So like I like both the money line and the over team total. I love those picks. The Jameis Winston prop I like it, but I'm scared because it's like one of those things where he's hit it so much that it's like again the public seems to be all over it. That worries me a little bit. But the data, it's hard to argue against it. This
Yeah,
pick I hate. Like I'm not thankful
yeah.
for this pick. I'm not thankful. Can I
I
tell
will
you?
say, go
Can I
ahead.
tell you what I was gonna go if I had fade me?
Yeah.
I was gonna go Bucks minus 5.5 again. Go the exact same
Ooh.
line. They're playing Carolina this week,
Yeah.
so it's like
I,
to give you the Giants and the Panthers in back-to-back weeks, and the
yeah.
same exact same line too.
I would like that spot. I think that I considered for one of my team totals. We should do this more often now that like we give a few other spots that we like, but I like the I liked the Bucks over. I think the odds actually moved on me, but it was over 23.5 for a team total. I don't think you can get that. I think it's like minus 170 now, but that was a spot that I was considering for totals coming into this. But yeah, I like my side of things. I will say good for your it's a good thing for your Miami play is that it is
Plus
Thanksgiving and like
150.
wonky things happen. You know what I mean? It's like this. It's like that. Like if the Bears are ever going to beat the Lions, for example, right? It's going to be like on
Yeah,
Thanksgiving when
Thanksgiving.
it's like this weird thing, day game during Thursday. Bears playing on Thanksgiving, obviously Lions too, every year, but that type of thing. So yeah, I mean, it should shape up for a good week. You're gonna know a lot of your plays by
Yeah.
Thursday night, so we'll see how that goes.
Holy sharp action too. I did not even honestly didn't even know this. I probably should have. That stupid on me for not even looking. Holy sharp action on the Dolphins.
Yeah.
44% of the tickets on the money line are on Miami, but 87% of the
Yep.
money is on Miami. And then on the spread picks, 47% of the tickets, but 92% of the money. So the sharps are all over Miami right
Yep.
now.
Yeah, I saw that when I recorded this yesterday too. Like I said, that the proof will be in the pudding. I'm pretty high on Miami overall, and then when you said it, my reaction was genuine. I was like, that's literally where when plus money play. That was where my first thought was.
Damn you! I
Um,
was feeling really good, and then you handed that Saints pick to me, and now I just feel terrible about it.
That's the beauty of that's it. You gave me the Giants last week. Let's
That's fair.
settle
Yeah.
down. But guys, that is going to wrap it up for week number 13, the Thanksgiving edition. Again, I know we talked about it before, but truly do appreciate all of the support. You picked us up when you're down. Even if nothing had happened, we had none of these obstacles, we'd still be super, super thankful for the position we're in. But just kind of the reassurance and the validation that you guys are really messing with us and rocking with us here during these, like, it sounds corny, but it's true, like the toughish times. I do appreciate, Tasos appreciates, I know Trey appreciates it. So seriously, guys, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays. Obviously, we'll talk to you guys next week as well. But yeah, very, very thankful for you guys watching and tuning in.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. And I don't want to offend the ladies out there because it is a ladies' holiday too. But this is the ultimate man's holiday. Like, this is like you sit down, you watch the Macy's Day Parade, you drink beer, you eat good food, and then you just watch football until you fall asleep. Like, it's literally just Christmas is the number one holiday. I think we had to rank it. It's the juggernaut of holidays. But like Thanksgiving is just a different. It's to me, it's one of, if not the best day of the year.
I mean, it is like there's not many holidays that give you the day drink excuse.
Day
And,
drink, just
and
eat as
that's
much as you
and
want.
that's
You can't get shamed on Thanksgiving for stuffing
true.
your face. Like, you can eat
True.
as much as you want. You don't get shamed for watching football because it's a Thanksgiving tradition. You have to watch football on Thanksgiving. It's like the Super Bowl maybe is another one like that, but like the Thanksgiving is the one day where, like, my girlfriend's not going to be yelling at me on Thursday for drinking all day, eating all day, and just watching football all day. It's the perfect day to just, it's like I said, not the ladies. It's for everybody, but it's the ultimate guy's holiday, really.
Fair enough. I agree. I mean, it's like I'll be, let's see, by noon, I'm probably 6 beers deep already.
Oh,
And
easily,
that is, I was gonna say, not the norm. That can easily be the norm if I choose, but you don't get shamed for it. That's a better way of putting it. But all right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.